Good morning, family. Good morning. It's that time of the week where I just like to do my usual rants. Today's going to probably be a multitude of things, but hey, it's Sunday. The sun is out. Life is beautiful. So it is what it is. So today's subject matter is going to be when you know it's time to close the deal. And it could be time to close the deal when it comes to a relationship, meaning it's time to get involved with somebody seriously. Time to close the deal in regards to buying a house. Time to close the deal in regards to taking the class, going to school, getting the certification, getting the trade, starting the business, whatever the case may be. Or just doing something different in your life. Okay? Closing that deal. One of my best friends, he is one of the most intelligent people you ever meet. Not as confident as he should be, but he's a very humble person and a good person all at the same time. He's great at analyzing information, gathering information, and talking about doing things. And when he executes, he executes. And a lot of times, in this age of information, we are scared to just jump off and get it done. It's like the old saying: if you're feeling froggish, leap. People are feeling froggish all the time in this life. Trying to cover my dog Max up. People are feeling froggish all the time in this life, but they're not ready to take that leap. And because they don't take a leap, they have nothing but regrets. One of my favorite movies with John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton is called The Ice Harvest. And he was talking to this one gentleman. I forgot this gentleman's name. He's a great actor, but I've seen him in 1,000 things. He said, do you have any regrets? He says, it's futile to regret. He said, because we get this one life, we have this one chance. So we do it now, or we don't do it at all. We take the leap now. And a lot of times people are scared to take the leap because they're scared to waste money. They think they might not be good enough or whatever they're trying to do. They don't think they might be worthy enough to be with a certain individual. They don't think that they are ready to settle down and be serious. They don't think that they're ready to start the business. They don't think that they're ready to do a lot of things. And I just say the heck with it. Just be like Nike and just do it. They're scared to get on the airplane. They're scared to leave their town. They're scared to leave their state. Why? If you've grown up, like I said, I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia. I get out as much as possible, okay? That's why when the lockdown happened during the COVID pandemic, it sucked royally because I'm like, I have to be here longer than I need to be. I don't like it. I hate it. So the moment the airlines opened up, I got my butt on the plane. I took the risk. I said, the heck with it, And that's just one little thing. Because remember, back then, a lot of people were scared to fly. And the thing is, like, I was scared to leave the country. And even though I went to Canada for the first time last year, which I like to call Europe and America Part 2. Nothing against my Canadian brethren. I don't have any friends there, but that's just how I feel about, when I went to Canada. I've been to Vancouver, Canada, and I've been to Toronto, Canada, and I've been to Niagara Falls, Canada. Very beautiful country. Can't wait to go back. And next year, I'm going to finally go to Europe. So I'm going to go to the UK. If I have enough time, I'll go to other countries in Europe. But the goal has always been I want to go to London and whatnot. So that will be an experience, and I'm looking forward to that. Starting my online business, selling products, making content, wholesaling real estate, buying rental properties, selling merchandise, doing the online referral thing and whatnot. These are things years ago, I probably would have been like, you're out of your mind, you're smoking crack. There's no way in God's green earth that I'm going to be able to do anything of that nature because I'm worried about what people are going to think about me online. To hell with it. The one thing I can say I admire about a lot of today's younger generation, because a lot of people, they get online and they look like they just rolled out of bed and they don't care. And I got nothing but respect in that aspect. Now, out in public, some days I'll be like, look like you at least took a shower and brushed your teeth, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyways, the moral of the story is a lot of people just get online, with the beautiful body positivity movement, people just online and they doing them. And I always say the sexiest thing on a female is two things: intelligence and confidence. Okay? That is always, to me, has always been, you can look good all day, but if you shy and timid, that's a turnoff. If you dumb as a box of rocks, then that's a turnoff. But if you're confident with your stuff and about your business, hey, that's what it is. I know for a lot of people, they just want somebody to be faithful to them. And that's cool because, especially in today's world, we live in a time where it's so much easier for somebody to get access to other people because of like the platform I'm using right now, social media. I'm live on Facebook right now. So, and it's I always call it's a gift and a curse. But that's why we say, when I talked about last week, people looking for 90s love in 2024. Damn, I was driving, I'm trying to speak. 2024, I'm like, the faithful aspects of it is possible, but the access of people that people have nowadays makes having quote unquote 90s love semi-impossible. Because like I said, when a person is about, and I always say, when a man or a woman is about their business, they're looking good, they got a good heart, and they are competitive. So remember, if you're looking good, if you're about your business, if you're competitive, and you got a big heart, you are considered a great catch. So when you are considered a great catch, especially in today's world, because there's just so many fools, men and women, you have the beauty opportunity to let somebody know, look, I can do bad by myself. I don't need this nonsense. I'm good. Okay? You want to act a fool? There's the door, or I'm going to leave throughout that door myself. A man and a woman that is, like I said, about their business, got a big heart, intelligent, looks good, and competitive. They have the right to say, you know what? I have the right to live a lifestyle because I've worked hard to get to this lifestyle that I don't have to take a vacation from, and I have a right to be with a person that's not going to drive me crazy and that's not going to cheat on me and act a fool around me and whatnot. So I call that grown folks business. Like a family member of mine hates the fact that her husband plays video games a lot. She hates the fact that she left New York City and moved to North Carolina. She's a distant family, so I don't even remember her name. I just hear the stories from my mother. And I'm like, well, one, you knew what living in, and it's not, I'm not talking bad about any city or state, but I'm like, you knew the difference between life living in North Carolina and living in New York. If you did not want to move down to that, because they're not even in like Raleigh, where the action's at, like Raleigh and Charlotte, that's where the real action's at. Like every state, where the cities are, that's where the action's at. They're in a small town and whatnot, out in the middle of nowhere. Like their neighbors are like 10 blocks away from them. Her husband likes that. She doesn't. She's bored out of her mind. And then she hates the fact that her husband plays video games a lot. I said, well, you knew who he was when you went down, before you went down the aisle with this man. You've known this man for years. You knew where he wanted to live. You knew what he was about. I'm not saying he's perfect, because he's not. Some people would say he's not even marriage material. It is what it is. But it's like, any life decision, whether it's a business, a job, a relationship, those decisions at the end of the day, it's like going to a car dealership. You looked at the car, you test drove the car, hopefully you had an expert look at the car. You get what you pay for, and the only difference is, the beautiful thing is that at least with a person, you can return them. With a car, 9 times out of 10, all sales are final. Or if you do return it, you're going to lose your money. So it's just like this is the way life is, this is the way life goes. So if you're ready to close the deal, make sure it's with the right person. And even then, especially in today's world, it might be the right person, but people can flip-flop more than the stock market and a politician. So then what do? You have to be able to protect yourself and say, from a mental perspective, a physical perspective, an economic perspective, to say, hey, you know what? We closed this deal. It's been a couple weeks, a couple months, a couple years. This ain't going to work. So why don't we just part ways and just say, have a nice life? Or they say in Spanish, tenga una buena vida. Have a nice life. Let's part ways. Because life's too short. You got to enjoy your life. So that's why I'm talking about this stuff. It's like, when it's time to close the deal, close it. But have your backup plans when you do close the deal. It's like if you close the deal by accepting a job and whatnot. If you plan on being there forever, that's cool. Have a backup plan. You never know. The company might go out of business. Business productivity might slow down as far as demand for whatever product and service that the organization you're working for offers. The economy goes up, it goes down. So you might, hey, what is your backup plan? A lot of people have backup plans of, being Uber drivers, I always just say 1099 employees, Uber drivers, Grubhub drivers, whatever the case may be. They might have a side business, side hustle, you know. These are the things that, you know, people have to take into consideration, you know, and it has to be like that when it comes to the lifestyle you have, because you never know. You break up, you might, you know, unfortunately, I've seen people end up homeless or having to live on somebody's couch or live in somebody's basement or rent a room out because they got a divorce and the financial situation isn't the best, or if somebody unfortunately died. You know, does that, hopefully if you're married and that person has a life insurance policy, because I don't care what anybody says, if you're married to somebody, both parties need to have some sort of, I don't care if it's the lowest life insurance policy, because for two reasons: one, to pay for the funeral, and two, to leave you some cash and whatnot, because in the United States of America, it's called capitalism, and you're supposed to capitalize on every single aspect of our lives, no matter who's in the White House, governor's house, or mayor's house, okay? So when you're alive, people are supposed to be able to capitalize on you, and you're supposed to be able to capitalize on them. When you die, your family's supposed to be able to capitalize on your death, all right? Just to ensure that things work itself out. I don't care, like I always say, if your house, your car, and your clothes look better than your bank account, your assets, and your life insurance policy, then you are hustling backwards, okay? And I'll just leave it at that. You're hustling backwards, and don't hustle backwards, okay? Because when you do that, you're screwing yourself, and if you have a family, you're screwing them even worse. But that's just my personal opinion. But know when it's time to close the deal. Know when it's time to execute, but execute by having a backup plan. You know, a lot of times, like I would say, a lot of times prisoners, people who are in prison or were in prison, are the best entrepreneurs because they know how to survive in various different environments. Okay, they're some of the hardest working people on the planet. They might have screwed up in life and they got caught up screwing up in life, but they're some of the best entrepreneurs and hustlers on the planet, and they know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. So these are just things to take into consideration, family. That's all I'm saying. You know when it's time to close the deal when it comes to the kind of lifestyle you want. You know, like that's getting closer and closer for me every single day. In Phoenix, Arizona, I'll be there in December. Phoenix, Arizona is looking sexier every single day because the cost of living in the DMV area has just gotten so atrocious. I'm just like, I'm over it. It just doesn't make any sense anymore, but I'll just leave it at that. One, you know, yeah, if you ever, and this is a side note, if you ever move to the DMV area, have an exit strategy. My personal opinion, and make sure that exit strategy is not when you want to retire, because that's the saddest thing on life, that people, this whole myth of I have to wait until I retire so I can really start enjoying life. Hell no, man. You should be able to enjoy life when you are able-bodied, when you're able to walk around, you can see fully, you can make moves and travel and whatnot. That's when you should be able to enjoy life. That's why I would say I am a big-time advocate for people having a lifestyle that they don't have to take a vacation from. That's just me. Okay. Now, does that mean you're supposed to lounge out on the beach every day for my people that live in these coastal cities and get drunk and get high every day and party? No. But it does mean that you should be able to walk out your house and be like, man, I love living in this community. Man, I love engaging with the people here. Man, we're making some moves. We're growing. We're exchanging ideas, and we're flourishing in various different aspects in various different ways. Being basic is the worst thing you can do if you live in any major metropolitan city nowadays. Now, if you want to live in a small town, which is nothing wrong with that, I actually respect people that want to do that because they have peace of mind. That's cool. But because you might be able to close the kind of deals in that small town that you might not be able to close in a bigger city. Case in point, 50 Cent. 50 Cent left California. 50 Cent left New York. 50 Cent didn't do what everybody else did by going to Georgia from a production standpoint, because he's in the the entertainment business. He's producing films and he's producing shows, mostly shows, good shows actually. But he's taken advantage of being in Shreveport, Louisiana. There's a studio there that was, now it's called G Unit Studios, that was owned by a company that went bankrupt. Apparently, like the state of Georgia, Louisiana has a tax credit where if you do business in the state, you get basically paid by the state, basically tax money every year. So the tax advantages are more are better for him. Just like, Tyler Perry having his studios in Georgia. Saying that's why a lot of production companies have left Los Angeles and New York and they've gone to Georgia because of the tax benefits and the lack of taxes compared to the state of New York and California. So it is what it is. But 50 Cent got out of his comfort zone because, he's going to Shreveport, and it's a bigger thing than him just, producing film in Shreveport. He's bought real estate. He's owning businesses. He's making the city his home. He's building his own little, I like to call Mecca, like Tyler Perry did in Atlanta, Georgia and whatnot, outside of the movie film. So he's invested his own money. As Damon Dash would say, you're not the boss unless you're spending your own money. 50 Cent is a boss. He's spending his own money, and he's doing it in a cheaper state, and he left his comfort zone. And I implore everybody to do that. And even when you leave your comfort zones, to say because I know a lot of folks from New York will move down south. Case in point, when I was in Atlanta, I can't tell you how many New Yorkers I met, over 40 people that was from New York City or New Jersey that moved to Atlanta, Georgia, or moved to the state of Georgia. But they were down there. A lot of them are not, I met them at the EYO University InvestFest. These folks were not down there to be basic. These folks were down there to be exceptional. They said, I could have been basic and poor in New York. I came down here to become a homeowner. I came down here to raise my family. I came down here to open my own business. I came down here to advance my career. I did not come to Georgia to be basic. I vibe with that kind of energy. And the same thing, like a lot of Californians that I met that moved to Texas, or they moved to Georgia. They moved to these states because it was cheaper. But a lot of them, because first, a lot of people moved to these areas because they just wanted to take advantage of the lower cost of living. But now that the cost of living has gone up in the metropolitan areas, i.e. Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas specifically. I think Austin is becoming the most expensive city in the state of Texas, if I'm not incorrect in that aspect, in that assessment. But I will say that now people are coming to these places to be exceptional, not just to be basic. Because when it comes to retirement for most regular working people, move to a small town. The major cities are not really for you anymore, unless you got it like that financially. But that's just my personal opinion. But on that note, I'm going to end this off with just saying, be exceptional when you're ready to close a deal when it comes to careers, relationships, business, getting a skilled trade, learning something new, leaving the country. Close the deal. Leave your state, leave your town, close the deal, and get around different people, because unfortunately most people never live up to their full potential, and this is including myself. I'm not casting stones in a glass house. Is because we are always surrounded by the same basic minded people. All right. If you are in a position to thrive, then that means you got to be in position to be alive and be in a position to drive the life that you want in the right direction. Because if you're around folks that want to be basic, you're going to be basic too. So if you have not, do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Larry's Anything Goes, LLC. Once again, Larry's Anything Goes, LLC. I'd greatly appreciate it. I might go live later because I'm supposed to meet up with my brother from another mother. We're just going to chop it up because we ain't hung out in a minute, and especially since I got tomorrow off. So have a great day. Be exceptional. Close those deals. That's all I got to say. I mentioned the kind of deals to close. Close them. Make money moves, or you're going to live like a fool. Take care.